If you've had any measure of success, either personally or within a business or a team that you run, can I suggest the most important thing for you to foster in the months and the years ahead is a healthy sense of paranoia. Now that may seem like a strange thing to want to wish on yourself, a sense of paranoia, but paranoia is so critical, healthy paranoia, because the reality is if you've had any measure of success, you've got a target painted on your back right now. There are competitors out there wanting to take you out, to usurp your position. You may well think, actually, no, we're pretty niche, we're very specialized, we actually don't have a lot in the way of competition. Even if that's true, I want you to imagine the competition's there. Because here's the beauty of healthy paranoia. Healthy paranoia will keep you two things. Number one, it'll keep you humble and it will keep you hungry. Both of these are two ingredients to keeping any organization, any individual, any business at the cutting edge over time. If you look at the first element, humility is so critical because when it comes to, the dangers of success, one of the most significant dangers is a sense of complacency or arrogance that often comes with success and triumph. The old saying is true, the moment you think you've made it, you've passed it. And if you get to a position where you think, well, hey, we're the biggest, we're the best, everyone's singing our praises, and you start to read your own press, that's a dangerous place to be in. Pride really does come before a fall. And often we dress up arrogance as certainty. And yet at the core of it, there's a sense in which we're closed off to different ideas because we think we're the biggest, we're the best, we know how to do things and we can't learn from others. So paranoia will keep you humble, but it'll also keep you hungry. You will realize that even though you're at the top, there are others making their way up the mountain who are willing to do things that you may not be willing to do, willing to cut costs and to go the extra mile in a way that you may think, well, we're so big, we don't need to anymore. And yet again, it's that thinking that is so dangerous if you're going to stay at the cutting edge over time. Success is incredibly dangerous, and so this sense of healthy paranoia is so powerful. And I think the best example I've seen of this is actually from Facebook. In the year that Facebook passed the 1.2 billion user mark, a point at which they would justifiably have had a bit of a party, and I'm sure they did. At that same time, a book landed on every employee's desk at Facebook HQ. This became known as Facebook's Little Red Book. And for many, many months, the contents of this book were a closely guarded secret because in this book were many of the principles, the values, the sense of DNA that were the core of Facebook, the things that have made the company successful in the first place. And they realized as the company grew and more staff came on board, they had to keep that DNA front and center. And when I actually managed to get a copy of what was in this book, there was one page that stood out amongst all the other pages in this book. And this one page, it simply said this: if we don't create the thing that kills Facebook, somebody else will. I love that because that is humility, that is hunger. That is like, we're the biggest, we're the best, but we can't get complacent, we can't stay here, we cannot rest on our laurels. And the best way to get to that position, that mindset, is to foster healthy paranoia. The former head of Intel, a guy named Andy Grove, put it best when he said, only the paranoid survive. How true that is.